When you think Wild West revolvers, you probably picture a dusty Colt Peacemaker spinning in a gunslinger's hand. But hold your horses. There's a whole arsenal of weird, wild, and legendary six-shooters that history forgot to put in the spotlight. We're talking about revolvers with shotgun barrels, sideways loading cylinders, and enough firepower to take down a buffalo, or accidentally your own hand. These weren't just weapons, they were statements built by mad geniuses, carried by outlaws, and feared for good reason. Some were ahead of their time, others were borderline steampunk nightmares, but every single one had a story to tell and a trigger to pull. From the harmonica gun to the knuckle duster that said hello with a bullet, we're digging up 11 legendary revolvers of the Wild West you've probably never heard of. Saddle up, because this ain't your granddaddy's gun rack. We begin with the harmonica gun, a bold attempt at rapid firepower in the 19th century. Instead of a traditional revolving cylinder, it featured a steel slide, resembling a harmonica, with multiple chambers loaded with powder and balls. To fire, the shooter manually shifted the slide to align the next chamber with the barrel, cocked the hammer, and pulled the trigger. This design allowed for multiple shots without reloading, a significant advantage at the time. However, the protruding slide made the weapon cumbersome and unbalanced, limiting its practicality. Notably, gunsmiths like Jonathan Browning, father of John Moses Browning, crafted these firearms in the 1830s and 1840s. Despite its innovative approach, the harmonica gun was eventually overshadowed by more efficient repeating firearms. So the harmonica gun gave you a bunch of shots, but it made you look like you were playing an awkward round of musical chairs with a firearm. Enter the jar harmonica revolver, which took the idea of a harmonica gun and said, let's make it weirder. Instead of that sliding steel contraption, the jar revolver kept the revolving cylinder action we all love, but added a twist. It was designed like a regular revolver, but the barrels were stacked vertically, making it feel more like a pocket-sized cannon. Unlike the harmonica gun, which required you to manually shift a steel slide, the jar kept things a bit simpler. Well, as simple as a revolver with an identity crisis could be. The design didn't make much practical sense though. Why use all that complexity when you could just stick with a standard revolver? Still, the jar turned heads, just for how confusing it looked. Next is the Allen & Thurber Pepperbox revolver, an early and unusual design that made a name for itself in the Wild West. Unlike traditional revolvers, this pistol featured a rotating cluster of barrels rather than a single revolving cylinder. Depending on the model, it could have anywhere from 4 to 12 barrels, all arranged around the central frame. Each barrel would fire individually as the shooter pulled the trigger, allowing for multiple shots without needing to reload after each discharge. Though small and easy to conceal, the Pepperbox was not known for accuracy or long-range performance, making it a close-quarters weapon favored by gamblers, outlaws, and those seeking personal defense. Its limited range and spitting recoil made it a tough choice for those more experienced with firearms. However, its ability to deliver rapid, consecutive shots at close range made it a dangerous option in the hands of a quick-drawing shooter. Next is the jar harmonica revolver, one of the strangest and most intriguing firearms ever crafted. Made in France during the mid-19th century, it earned its name from its unusual design, a horizontal sliding magazine resembling a harmonica. Instead of a rotating cylinder, the revolver used a rectangular block with multiple chambers that slid side to side through the frame. Each time the shooter fired, they would manually push the block over to align the next chamber with the barrel. Chambered in 36 or 44 caliber, the jar harmonica revolver allowed for more rounds than traditional revolvers of its time, sometimes up to 10 or more shots. However, it was far from practical. The sliding action was slow, bulky, and prone to fouling, making it more of a novelty than a battlefield weapon. Still, it represents a fascinating chapter in firearm history when inventors weren't afraid to challenge conventions in pursuit of higher capacity and faster firepower. Fourth on our list is the LeMat revolver, a pistol that took the concept of a multi-purpose firearm to an entirely new level. Unlike anything else on the market, the LeMat combined the power of a 9-shot revolver with the devastating force of a 20-gauge shotgun barrel, a unique design that caught the attention of Confederate officers during the Civil War and made its way into the Wild West. The revolver's standard cylinder fired regular pistol rounds, while the shotgun barrel, located underneath the main barrel, could be fired by pulling a separate trigger. This dual functionality gave the LeMat an edge in close combat, offering not only multiple shots from the revolver, but also the ability to unleash a powerful, close-range blast. Its distinct look and dual capabilities made it a legendary weapon of its time, prized for its versatility and feared for its firepower. In the hands of a skilled shooter, the LeMat was a game-changer on the frontier. Which brings us to the Cochrane turret revolver. The Cochrane turret revolver is one of the most unconventional firearms of the Wild West, pushing the boundaries of design and functionality. This multi-barrel revolver featured a rotating turret mechanism, much like a revolver, with the barrel system rotated vertically, allowing the shooter to fire multiple rounds without manually reloading. The design was essentially a revolving cluster of barrels, each one capable of firing a shot in succession as the turret rotated. While Cochrane's concept was innovative, the practical application was less than ideal. Its bulky, awkward design made it cumbersome to handle, and the rotating turret created potential safety issues, especially if the shooter's hand was positioned incorrectly. Despite its limitations, the Cochrane turret revolver captured the imagination of firearm enthusiasts and collectors for its bold attempt at revolutionizing firepower. It was an ambitious, if flawed, effort to maximize the number of shots in rapid succession, a hallmark of frontier innovation. From the strange to the outright peculiar, the Colt Root revolver takes us to a time when Colt decided, let's put the mechanism under the barrel. Because why not? This underhammer revolver featured a hammer below the barrel, a design that looked like Colt was trying to reinvent the wheel. Except in this case, it was a wheel that didn't quite roll as smoothly. The Colt Root wasn't your typical revolver. It was made to stand out, but not always in the best way. The design wasn't exactly practical, and people often wondered why Colt didn't just stick with the tried and true top hammer method. But hey, if you ever wanted to look extra cool while fumbling with your gun, the Colt Root was the way to go. Despite its weirdness, it managed to make its mark with collectors, thanks to its distinctive appearance and the fact that Colt decided to try something a little too innovative for its time. Next, we step into the realm of the Butterfield Army Revolver, a firearm that managed to combine both innovation and overcomplication. Designed with a built-in percussion cap feeding system, the Butterfield was an attempt to streamline the reloading process. But in true Wild West fashion, it only added another layer of confusion. Rather than simply slapping a cap on each chamber, this revolver had a mechanism to feed the caps automatically, a feature that could either make reloading faster or turn your revolver into a ticking time bomb if it malfunctioned. It was a bold idea, but as often happens with such ambitious designs, it didn't quite take off. The complexity of the mechanism, combined with its limited production, only about 600 were made, meant the Butterfield never gained widespread popularity. Still, for those who appreciate quirky, flawed innovations, the Butterfield Army Revolver holds a special place in the history of firearms, representing the Wild West ongoing dance with the line between genius and madness. The turret revolver takes us even further down the path of Wild West oddities, where practicality often took a back seat to sheer audacity. Imagine a revolver that wasn't just rotating around a single cylinder, but instead featured a turret-like mechanism where multiple barrels rotated in a circular motion, ready to fire in quick succession. Sounds a bit like something out of a science fiction novel, right? Well, that's exactly what the turret revolver was. A bizarre mix of revolver and cannon. This gun wasn't just designed for a quick draw. It was meant to impress and intimidate, with a bulky setup that could hold several rounds in rapid fire style. But like many frontier innovations, it was far from user-friendly. The extra weight and awkward handling made it difficult to aim and shoot effectively. Still, its place in history is secure, if only as a reminder that not all great ideas were ready for the wild frontier. The ninth gun on the list, the Merwin Hulbert revolver, was a marvel of design that pushed the boundaries of what was possible in its time. Known for its sleek lines and precise craftsmanship, the Merwin Hulbert stood out with its unique twist and pull ejector system. Unlike traditional revolvers, this system allowed the shooter to eject spent cartridges without needing to break open the action or manually rotate the cylinder. Just a quick twist, and the spent casings were ejected with ease. This innovative feature made the Merwin Hulbert faster to reload, setting it apart from the other revolvers of its era. It also featured a foolproof locking mechanism that kept the cylinder firmly in place during firing. While it wasn't widely adopted due to its higher costs and the growing popularity of other revolvers like the Colt Single-Action Army, the Merwin Hulbert's technical innovation made it a favorite among collectors today. Next up, we have the Colt Walker, a revolver so massive and powerful it could almost double as a small cannon. The Colt Walker was designed in 1847 at the request of the Texas Rangers, who needed something to match the power of cavalry charges. The result was a 14.5-inch beast that weighed nearly 4.5 pounds when fully loaded. With its .44 caliber chamber, it packed a punch like no other revolver of its time. 60 grains of black powder per chamber, almost double what most guns could handle. The Colt Walker Walker's sheer size made it impractical for everyday carry, but it was built to be a weapon of war. With a high-capacity 6-round cylinder, it could deliver incredible firepower in close combat. Though prone to occasional cylinder explosions due to overloading, its intimidating presence and raw power made it a legendary weapon in the Wild West and a symbol of frontier strength. We close out this list with one of the most futuristic yet ultimately flawed revolvers to ever make an appearance, the Dardic Model 1500 open chamber revolver. Introduced in the 1950s, this gun took the concept of the revolver and turned it on its head. Rather than using traditional round ammunition, the Dardic used a triangular cartridge known as a tround, which fit into the open chamber design of the gun. This allowed for faster reloading in a more compact chamber. The design featured an open chamber system, where the trounds were placed directly into the chamber without the need for a conventional rotating cylinder. While the concept was revolutionary, the triangular ammo proved to be impractical, and the revolver never caught on. The Dardic Model 1500 was a glimpse into a future that never came to be, ultimately fading into obscurity. Still, it stands as a testament to the Wild West's relentless experimentation with firearms, often with unpredictable results. From the innovative Evans repeating rifle to the Dardic Model 1500, the Wild West was a playground for audacious firearm designs. Guns like the LeMat revolver, with its dual revolver and shotgun barrels, and the Colt Walker, a massive powerhouse, represent the bold spirit of frontier innovation. Oddities like the Cochrane turret revolver and Merwin Hulbert brought unique mechanical features, while the Butterfield Army revolver and Colt Root showcased the era's penchant for complex yet impractical designs. These strange and legendary weapons remind us that in the Wild West, necessity and creativity often led to fascinating, if imperfect, firearms. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, give us a like and subscribe for more exciting content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.